Good morning, everybody. Frank Vespi here from the Racing Biz, theracingbiz.com, and welcome to the Big T today, joined as I have been every day of the meet thus far, and hopefully every day to come, which is only one, by the best track announcer in the business, also the maker of the proprietary algorithmic dog figs, the best unknown handicapping tool in the world, Dave Rodman. Good morning, Dave.
You forgot the derivatives. We use derivatives as well in there.
Oh, see?
Yeah. And Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, yes.
I didn't know that Bitcoin figured into
it factor, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's the same principle, right? Anyway, we kind of recovered a little yesterday, right, in picks, didn't we, Frank?
It was a little bit better than the day before.
Okay.
We lived to fight another day.
We're making progress on the dead rail, and we're moving forward.
That's it. And what a great day we had yesterday. We inducted 2 new horses into the Maryland Thoroughbred Hall of Fame. I got a chance to talk with the Lancasters, the children of Jiggs Lancaster, who bred and starred in Askra, and talked to them about going up to New York and beating Aladar and winning an Eclipse Award. So that was a lot of fun. And we had some exciting races. We had a big and enthusiastic crowd. What did it look like from up top?
Yeah, it was a big crowd, enthusiastic. You could hear them through the window up there. I don't have a window, but yeah, when they roll down the stretch and they're going nose to nose, the crowd picks up.
Yeah.
And the noise picks up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So a couple more days. Another, really no rain in the forecast for today, right? Tomorrow as well. We're all clear, I think.
Fingers crossed.
So we've had a fast track every day of the meet here at the Big T, some long shots, some overbet favorites. What more do you want?
Welcome to racing.
Yeah, but our idea maybe is to try to get you a couple of I think I may have a price play today. Yeah,
all right, good. Yeah.
Not only that, but in the last race today, the final race of the day, I have a stat that just may make you throw your funnel cake in the air. You just might. When you hear the stat,
that's it. It's all over.
You just say, I got to play this horse.
I got to play this horse.
Okay.
And I got to go buy more funnel cake because I just threw mine in the air.
Could be an expensive proposition there. I bet between
it's
the bet and the
got to win,
cake.
Otherwise we're in there. We're way in the red on that.
Right.
All right. So good stuff yesterday. We got 2 days left in the meet. Today, tomorrow. Really, you get through that second Saturday, and all of a sudden you look around and you go, holy smokes, there's only 17 races left at Timonium this year, and then Brigadoon recedes into the mists.
Yes.
All right, Dave, let's pick up here. First race, half mile, 5,000 claimers, beaten claimers, going a half mile for haven't won 2 in 6 months or never win 5. We've done this before, a little bit jumbled up. I land on the chalk here. You take a bit of a price here with the 5-horse, the Cairo Kid. Is it just Cairo Kid to the front? See you later?
Yeah, I thought he'd go off. He'd be off the pace last time. He went right to the front, didn't look back, and that was last week. Kind of running to a pattern here at Timonium. We've had a lot of horses run back, first week to second week.
Yeah, we have.
And they found the winner's circle. A couple yesterday. I forgot to look at the exact number, right? Didn't we have 2 yesterday?
Yeah,
at least
we
2
have
in the
seen
last
a lot
2
of
days.
horses wheeling back.
Yeah, the Cairo Kid just won last week here at the Big T. He looked good doing it. Big, massive gray. So you would think a horse like that may not be able to get his stride quick here at Timonium, but he went to the front and took no prisoners. He may not make the front today, I'm not sure, but I think he can rally. He's got that good kind of mid to outside draw again, which was what I expected last time. He performed as the favorite, so the roll right back with the Cairo Kid to the front. Likes to go to the front or near the lead, but I've seen him run so many times. Loom can't follow through in that last 16th of a mile final yards. He's won 12 races, but 17 times second. I guess he would have an excuse, though. Last 3 times, right? He ran against Primal Destiny, who's 5 for 7 this year.
I think that's an important point here. Primal Destiny is kind of the category killer of that 4.5 furlong race. And, in fact, he came out of the win at Charlestown 2 back. Last week, Primal Destiny comes here and wins a wide open 25,000 starter allowance. This horse has been chasing Primal Destiny. He's not that good, but now he's dropping to a much, much easier spot. I mean, Primal Destiny would be 1 to 5 in here, Dave. So if this horse can, as you say, maybe a little bit of hanging in the lane, but if this horse can run back to any of several recent starts, I think he's a winner in this group.
No, I give it to him. He's honest. He did win a 7:15 in 2021. I guess I kind of missed that era, but he was 6 times second this year so far. And he's a 5-year-old. I've seen him run way back in the day, earlier in Maryland too. And he's honest. He's got some good early speed. He can run with any kind of horse early.
We're also both using, let's just mention briefly, Zorb a little bit. Apprentice rider Will Humphrey with a 3-bagger yesterday. He's got 4 wins at the meet. Riding here for Farrier. This is a horse kind of looking to bounce back a little bit, but interesting thing that the cross entered at the mountain, passed on the mountain, going to run here apparently.
Yeah, well, he's the kind of horse you wouldn't suspect will have 4 furlong type speed. However, he's got some good pace figures going 6.5, 7, especially on that sloppy track back in March at Charlestown. Fast track today, so maybe he's a little bit better quick on the front end on the off going, which he won't get today. But he's kind of a sneaky horse in this spot. Don't know if he can pass anyone, if they beat him to the lead, but he did pass a horse at Laurel in winning that $8,000 tag back in mid-April with the same pilot this afternoon, Will Humphrey aboard, so I had to throw him in the mix.
All right, 5, 3, 4, 2 for Dave, 3, 4, 6, and 5 for me in the opener here at the Big T. Let's move right on to race 2. 16,000 claimers for 3-year-olds or 4 and up that have never won 3. We're going 6.5 furlongs here, 2 turns at the Big T, and Dave going with Aftermath, and I'm on the 2-horse. I'm sadly enough doing chalk again, but I am going to have some prices a little bit later. Aftermath coming out of 4th place finish behind Erewhon. Track might have been a little biased that day, Dave.
That was Million, not Erewhon. Or wait, are you talking about
I'm sorry, Erewhon was finished just ahead of this
Erewhon's
horse.
in the race.
Did not win.
You're
right.
You're right. Behind Arrow. He was behind Erewhon. You're correct.
Everybody.
Erewhon, Million.
What are we doing here?
Million, who won the last race at Aftermath, ran in first off the claim, pretty much had everything his own way. Opening quarter, 25 seconds. He looked like the solo speed on paper, and he was. Nursed along well. Held sway to win by a couple lengths over Dolitza Vita. Erewhon was third. Couldn't rally into the slow pace. But the thing I liked about Aftermath off that claim into the Brooks barn, look at his race that he won here July 15th at Laurel, 3 back. There was a tremendous duel in front of him, and it was a great setup. So you would think that maybe Aftermath wouldn't have that much speed, but he was kept close in that race by Barbosa. So I think he can be placed pretty much anywhere he wants to. If there's a lot of speed in here, the 4-horse is 4-horse in or out in there? Did you say?
Loaded. I think he's in. To my knowledge, he's in. Loaded Sniper.
Yeah, I forgot my actual program upstairs. I'm going here with my iPad. So the fact that he was close last time out against a slow pace, second off the claim, they claimed him random 9 days back. He's in for 16, above the claim level, same level he was in last time out. Positive, positive, positive signs. But I think Erewhon's going to be his main danger. Almost went with him on top. Could have been a flip-flop to me. You chose neither.
How about that? Cozy's Wildcats, where I landed. This horse has been running credibly enough against better. Last time out, 4th after pressing the pace. Kind of lost the speed duel. The other horse came back to be 4th in his follow-up, but now dropping a couple of steps from the 30 level to 16 here at the Big T. Think should be forwardly placed off that effort. Claudio Gonzalez likes to win, puts Angel Cruz up. That's a winning combination. Not going to make any money off that play because they are even money, but this horse looks to be in a good spot here. Has the speed to go to the lead, but if something develops in front of him, is able to stalk and pounce, and so that seems like a pretty good combination of things to me.
His best race was at Monmouth, 3 back, 85 buyer number in recent form. He went all the way in that race. So I'm a little suspect of the number, the pace, et cetera in there. Because his last 2 starts, he was a beaten favorite. Now he drops in for 16. Claudio Gonzalez, excellent trainer, but he's not Santa Claus. I don't know if he's giving this horse away or whether he's just spotting him to win. It's a little bit of a puzzler to me in Cozy's Wildcat.
It's funny because we had a horse like that yesterday that we both took a stand against, which was Music Amore, and
he won.
Ran
second.
Ran second.
Yep.
And I found that a little bit of a puzzling spot for that horse. I'm less puzzled by this horse. This horse, to me, this looks like the appropriate place to put this horse off a couple of defeats against better.
All right.
But your mileage may vary. You also use the 5-horse here. Erewhon, as you said, pretty much a toss-up with Aftermath.
Yeah, Aftermath beat him. He beat him July 15th at Laurel, but a good effort, not far from Aftermath against that slow pace. I think his best MO is maybe to tuck over, save ground, hope for that opening, and pounce.
Pounce. All about the pouncing. The one horse I'm using that you did not hear at all is Pit Stop Man, the 6 horse. And, this horse coming off a pretty good effort. It's got some early speed for the Snake Frock Barn. The Frocks won yesterday with Pray for the USA, and I said to Snake, hey, where was my tip on this horse? And he goes, oh, bet the four horse in the last race, meaning the race that had just completed. The problem here is everybody's a comedian in this game, Dave.
Well, yeah. It's no laughing matter that Pit Stop Man's going to go to the front and set an honest pace, I think, setting it up for one of our picks.
One of our picks.
Right. All right. Third race.
Let's go to the third. 5,000 claimers going a half mile, one turn here. I go 2-5-1-3. You go 5-2-1-3.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Make your case.
Again, another horse won last week, back this week. That would make at least right 4 if that happens earlier today. And then this one, a lot of run backs real quick. I don't think that race took much out of Chakota. Number 5, my top pick. A speed horse beat her to the lead that day. Barbosa took her to the outside, 3 deep in the turn, and that abbreviated sprint, 4 furlongs, angled out. It was pretty much over by the time they hit the 8th pole, top of the stretch. Gone by 2. She didn't look like she came back any worse for wear. Probably couldn't blow out a candle. They're just putting in her spot where she can grab another win to make it 2 for the big team meet.
Yeah, I'm trying to beat her here. I agree with everything you said. That was an easy win. I don't think it took a thing out of her. So if you like that effort, I don't think there's any reason to hold the short rest against her in this spot. I'm just a little dubious. I mean, there were only 3 horses in the race, and essentially only one of them was really running. So, kind of had to beat a horse there. I ended up on Hufflepuff, the 2 horse, taking what I think is another appropriate drop out of 8,000 claiming. Had been facing even better, not doing too well. Now dropping into what could be a winning spot. I'd like to see this horse get a little bit more of the early speed back. This horse has shown speed in the past. Last couple, kind of just mid-pack. Like to see her a little bit closer to the pace today. And I think if she is there, her finishing kick might be good enough.
Yeah, you're correct. I mean, she's gone wire to wire in one of her better efforts, but I've seen her battle on some hot paces with multiple horses up front.
All right. Anything else you want to say about the third race?
No,
here?
We got some good stuff coming later. So
okay, we're saving the good stuff.
Yeah, let's save the lengthy comments for,
later on.
When the stat
causes
drops.
me to throw up my hands and lose the funnel cake. All right.
Or maybe
race.
this race, because my top pick, if it wins, you're buying a turkey leg, a funnel cake, a pickle pizza.
Did you bring the wheelbarrow?
And you're bringing it to the press box up the stairs.
Okay.
No elevator here at Timonium. No escalator.
All right, we're gonna bring all the food up the stairs because Dave here in this maiden 10,000 going 6.5 furlongs. Dave is on Ella Rouge for Billy Meister and Albert Delgado. Yesterday's birthday boy, Albert Delgado, turned 58. Last happy birthday.
It's the birthday angle.
And they combined the other day for a Bombs Away horse. Go ahead.
A pre-birthday angle and a post-birthday angle.
Give me
for
Ella
Albert
Rouge,
Delgado.
man. Lay it
well,
on me.
I mean, look at Perfect Move, the 4, right? She moved from Brittany Russell's barn to Kieran McGee's barn. Kieran ran her against the Turf Maiden 16. Showed speed. Faltered. Will that turf pace translate to the Timonium dirt? Perhaps. If so, she could be gone. She's a Vancouver. She's run 3 times on the grass. They're dropping her in for 10. They don't want to wait for maybe a grass race at Pimlico somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe
I'm not sure. Out of losing by 8 and 18 at maiden 16, where are you going on the turf?
That was her first time going 2 turns. She went quick. Maybe she has. I don't know. It looks like a spot where they're either just dropping in, just hope that she can handle the dirt. So anyway, I didn't really care for her at a short price. Kobe's Girls 0 for 15. She's a Trip is 0 for 14. I think she was beaten by an 0 for 35 horse last time out, Color of a Cloud. I didn't look up the exact, but she at least 0 for 32.
Yeah.
So I went to Ella Rouge, fresh face on the scene for Bill Meister, who's won a race this meet. Showed a sign of life on the dirt, in the mud, at Laurel against my Super Sally and the pretty quick Moonbiz. Not a lot without the blinkers with long distance love. So it's first time blinkers on a drop here at the Big T in a race perhaps with some suspect fillies. Maybe something, maybe nothing.
I like it though, Dave. I endorse you picking this 30-1 outsider here.
No, you won't. Not when you got to go get that pickled pizza and haul it up the stairs.
I know. I hope we could get some lighter fares.
We want a full pickled pizza too, not
a
couple
full
of slices.
Pickled pizza,
yeah,
not just a slice.
All right.
I landed on the 3 in this race, somewhat similar but much different odds. Sanctified Time for Anthony Ferrier. This is a horse that did not show much on debut. Was claimed out of that. They wheel it back at the bottom. Those are in general not great signs. However, this is a horse that really has a lot of dirt breeding. It's a daughter of Not This Time. The Dam's only wins were on the main track. The only sibling to run has only run once, and that was on the dirt and got a 69 buyer, which obviously a 69 buyer would win this race for fun. So there's some things here that tell me that this is a horse that may prefer the dirt. And interestingly enough, putting Boca Chica up, the go-to rider for Ferrier. So this is obviously, there's nothing you can exactly know with this horse because she's only run once and not run well and on a different surface. But those all seem like positives to me. So I landed on Sanctified Time in this race. And as you said, Dave, a lot of kind of suspect fillies. Kobe's Girl, a bunch of losses. She's a Trip, a bunch of losses. I used Perfect Move a little bit. Similar reason, Vancouver is a good sire on everything.
He is.
And just say goodbye.
I'll take your word for it. That's just, I don't know.
I might have just made it up, but actually I looked it up. And his sibling, his offspring rather, are doing well on everything. And the siblings of this horse have been more kind of dirt horses, Perfect Move, than turf horses. So maybe okay moving turf to dirt. Hasn't shown a ton, but let's see what we got here. So Dave going bombs away in the 4th, and I like it. I'm going with the 3-horse Sanctified Time. Let's move on to the 5th race. Noteworthy factoid here, Dave Rodman. We got a $2,474 carryover in the late pick 5. Pick 5 stars race 5 here. So there's some other people's money to play with in the pools. And you got a stat for me. Or do you have a stat?
No stat.
Okay.
Well, stat's in the last race. Last race,
yeah. Okay. 5-horse. You got Assembly Point. I'm taking a stand against Assembly Point, but I want to hear your take here.
I don't have a take. Right. If I'm reading the race correctly, I think Our Hoisted Mass is trying to go to the lead. Made the Journeys has bet success on the lead. I think they'll both try for it. Assembly Point has gone to the lead and won, but I think he's the kind of horse that can chase and sustain. Or if nobody's going to go, or if the speed doesn't materialize, he can do it. A little bit of a horse who likes to bear out a little bit. I'm concerned about that in the bull ring. I've seen him run before. He tries to drift out a little bit late. But I think he's in a good spot. Doesn't have a lot to beat. The real puzzler to me in the race has Made the Journey, the 4-horse, Frank. I just picked it 5-4 since it's a short field in here. Because this horse went gate to wire at Laurel going 1 1/8, right? Comes back, runs 5th at Laurel, back in the spring. Muddy track, laid him up, little rest. Dazzled the fans with a 38-1. How in the world did he do that upset with an aggressive ride under Walter Rodriguez on the rail? And he broke a little bit slow, a beat slow in that race. He was hustled up, hugged the rail the whole way. Allegedly better horses chased him that day. You figured, well, they're going to make an impact at some point. They never did. But he seems to be best when aggressively ridden. He may be, maybe the plan today. If that's the plan, and Our Hoisted Mass going to have some company up front.
Yeah, I mean, slightly, with Made the Journey, a big effort last time, as you noted, 38-1 at post time, draws away to win nicely. Slightly concerned, you know, the first 4 horses to run back out of that race, none of them has finished in the money, so it may end up coming back not as good a race as we might like it to be. One positive, I think, with that horse, too, though, ran on July 29th, is showing 2 works in the interim. I like a horse that works, you know, works a couple times in a month, waiting for the next race, so I thought that was all good. My sort of stand against Assembly Point here was, Dave, was just got a perfect trip last time. You know, sat off the speed, ran on by, just a really nice setup. And was that going to happen again? And maybe it will, but I kind of, you know, like to bet against horses getting things perfectly their own way, multiple consecutive races.
Well, he's run against a little bit better, and I think that might pull him through. That's kind of my hope. You know, not 100% sure about that, but you know. Going back to Made the Journey, you know, like I said, head scratcher at 38-1. One of those races where when a horse wins, you go, what did I do wrong? What am I missing? And then you look at the form and you go, nothing.
Right, there was nothing.
But that often happens, you know, a lot of Corrales horses to me are like that. They're a little tough to read.
Yep.
So he's come from way off the pace before at Laurel back in 2021, but he's got 2 wins in recent time in 2022, and both of them were wire to wire. There's something that makes this horse tick. You know, maybe he'll go today.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I landed on Our Hoisted Mast, who figures likely to be the other speed and might be the speed of the speed, but we'll have to see how that plays out. Source has done his best running on the lead, has, you know, faced similar, even a little bit better at times, so certainly fits with this group of horses. Gets Jaron Barbosa. Barbosa hasn't ridden the last couple days here, but was the leading rider after the first weekend with 6 wins, now trailing Angel Cruz, who has 8, but still a day or 2 to go. So that is the 5th race. Let's move on to the 6th, Dave.
Excellent race here.
This is a really good race. There's 5,000 starters going 3 turns, mile and a 16th. You make a case for a bunch of these. And once again, we make a case for 2 different ones. You land on Last Out Stakes winner Breviary.
Another horse coming back. Won last week, won the Timonium Distaff in a 10-1 surprise in a short field. And she's meeting a Acadian girl now, who she's run against before. They met 3 times, am I correct in counting that? And it's 2-1 Breviary. But Acadian girl's coming in fresh. She's super sharp. Breviary's coming back in a week. I think that race a little bit better than it looks on paper. I know it was a 4-horse field, and some people say, well, Malibu Beauty didn't want to go that far, went too fast. Honestly, the pace wasn't that fast, I didn't think. And for Breviary to come back and run that horse down, and then toward the end edge away at a big price against that kind of field, I thought was an excellent performance, and why not wheel her back here? You know, if her main rivals, Acadian Girl, it could be a heck of a race down the stretch between these 2. She's looking for 3 in a row, 5th in the year. What can I say about her? Hard knocking, off since July, but Mike Giral is good with this certain kind of layoff, and especially when he's got a good filly like her.
So, Dave, let me ask you this, because Breviary, I agree with you, ran huge a week ago to run down. And Malibu Beauty's a stakes winner. Hybrid Eclipse was in that race, who's a stakes winner. And so that
didn't show up at all.
She did not. You're right. But you know, that was it was, yes, a 4-horse field, but they were pretty good horses. This one was the longest shot on the board. Runs down Malibu Beauty late. I was a little concerned. I feel like that has to have taken something out of her.
Well, I mean, ask the 2 or 3 horses that have won in a week's rest here.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. The reason I say no is because I thought the pace was just moderate in that race, but what do I know? I'm here at Timonium.
Are you saying I don't know anything either?
Huh?
Are you saying I don't know anything either? I landed on.
I mean, you know. What do I know?
I landed on the 2-horse here, Marvelous, for Carlos Mencia, Jorge Ruiz in the irons. Here's an interesting stat. This might be a blow to throw up your funnel cake stat, Dave. We've had 6 races at a mile and a 16th in the first 5 days here at the Big T. All 6 have been won by horses breaking from the 1, 2, or 3 holes, including 3 of them that have been won from the 2 hole. That's not actually why I landed on Marvelous, but But hey, it's interesting but useless information.
You just want to hear me say, "Oh, look marvelous." That's all.
You know, we got to talk about the Ferris Allen wheel in a minute, but
Yeah.
but I think an interesting thing. I mean, I think this horse has been keeping this kind of company, has been doing it successfully, has won a couple times against similar. Last time out, pressed a 3-10 favorite, and drew away to win nicely at Delaware Park. Has been 1, 2, 3 in 5 straight races. And an interesting thing, Jorge Ruiz, the jockey, has rode this horse last time, won nicely, hasn't ridden at all at the Big T so far this meet. Shows up here for this horse today.
Well, yeah. I mean, her 2 best dog figs are obviously the last 2 races, Starter Allowance Company. I kind of question the company there, but yeah, you could be right. She likes to run on or near the lead.
Yep. No, she should be
And
engaged.
seeing as Brewery is always a closing type, Acadian Girl, kind of a bigger filly, never been at Timonium. We don't know how she's going to handle this track.
Yep. And I think,
but she, Marvelous is kind of a handy kind of filly. She's got that nice little burst. She, too, a first-time Timonium runner.
Yep.
But, to be nimble enough to try to get out there and scoot away from them might be the trick for her.
But she also doesn't need the lead. A few back in April, she beat Similar and was 4th halfway through the race, several lengths back, and ran on nicely to win, and beating Breviary that day, in fact. So, so I don't know. I honestly think you could make a pretty square case for certainly 4 of these.
That's why it's a good race,
yep.
And why we disagree.
And why we disagree.
So
you could probably pick a 3rd horse from that. Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, we have any more to say?
No, we're good.
7th race, we have some scratches, correct? Am I right in 2?
Take out the 2, 6, and 7.
6 and 7. Read the spec, Jones Falls, dollars and cents. A toss-up before the scratches, a semi-toss-up after the scratches for me. I defaulted to that one post going 4 furlongs here at the Big T. Good stat. I know it's a short meet, but it's been a great angle. Beaten favorite in Smart and Fast, but gets blinkers on today. Adding the blinkers on the Congrats Colt for Claudio. Perhaps one of these first-time starters are really something. Is one of them really something? You might know something. Do you know something?
I don't know nothing.
Tell
Actually,
me.
I had landed on the 2, which was Dale Capuano trainee, who turns out not to be here, which leaves me with the, I just kind of plugged in from there. So I had the 9 finishing 2nd, so land on him. That's Jerry Robb trainee. Has been working well. His first foal out of a
5-time winning mare who ran a Beyer number of 57.
I'm
See?
fully,
We're even. I couldn't read my writing.
I'm pulling a Dave
I
Robb
couldn't
in
read
here.
my
I
writing
can't read it.
opening day. Had no idea what it was, but it's
Yeah.
right here. See, very handy.
All right,
right.
same thing. Yep.
First foal out of a 5-time winning mare.
And,
Am I right? Did you have more to say?
Yeah. That's what I got. If I could interpret it, that's what I got.
Okay.
Sire's 9%
We're
with
even.
2-year-old firsters.
Okay.
We
All
are
right.
even. But I think you're dead on. I mean, the inside posts have been going well, going 4 furlongs. So
it's
hope
just
he's
a
fast. Going to have to break and go.
I probably would not have picked him had there not been an equipment change. Right. So blinkers on the inside horse. And I think there was an equipment change too, late announcement there that I forgot in Judy's Army, I believe, with the blinkers on. So what about SS Sinatra you pick on the bottom level? I got 3rd. First time starter from the Ned Allard barn. Ed, don't call me. Just call me Ned Allard.
Yeah.
With a good record with 2-year-olds.
He
First
does well
time
with-
starters, not as hot.
But not bad.
But
I mean,
not
he's
bad.
5 for 29, 2-year-old firsters, which is about 16%, which is just fine. This is a first foal out of a dam who won twice. She was 2 for 16. I mean, she was, as they say, just a horse. The works are slowish, but I don't know how much I need to worry about that here. I mean, this is a field that there's a lot of could be anything here, and you use Smart and Fast on top with the blinkers on. Last time out as the beaten favorite, was beaten by 2 first-time starters. So, a lot of kind of different ways to go. What were you seeing in SS Sinatra?
Just the fact that Ned Allard's okay with 2-year-olds. I couldn't really like anything works-wise, pedigree-wise, but that doesn't mean much. I did throw the 4 in the mix. And Mo O'Hennessy's a Motown. I can tell you he's 2 for 52 with 2-year-old first-time starters. Doesn't light the world on fire, so he might need a race from the Farrier barn. And he's got similar works, I guess, to SS Sinatra if you're just going by the clock. I'm lost in this race, except I'm just defaulting inside to the blinkers on.
Yeah.
Hoping for the post to carry me through, the change of equipment to give him a little more brisk early speed.
Yep.
He's got experience. He chased Heldish home in his second run. That horse is okay. I believe stakes placed at Colonial Downs now.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
I know we're in second at Colonial.
Yeah, Heldish is okay.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of different ways to go. You're going 1954. I go 9415. So we're in the same place more or less on that one. So move to the 8th, the feature of the day, third level allowance, optional claimer. What an interesting race this is, Dave. I mean, this is another one. There's only 5. You make a case for all 5 if you really want to.
You could. You could. You could.
In fact, I might.
I think you might, but I'm not going to try that.
No, I'm not going to either. You land on going to the lead here, morning line 2-1 chalk.
Freshened up from Pimlico in a race in which he was hung out 5 wide on the chase, off of a good duel up front. Never really tucked in to save any ground there. He's run well enough in the past to keep good company there, like the very fast Not Away. He beat the Hunter Joe a couple of times. And since the addition of blinkers, he's really a little more focused. He's always been a consistent horse with early speed, but since the addition of blinkers, very consistent, with the exception of his wide trip, and then he was given time away, indicating maybe, Damon said he's run a little bit too much this year, a little tough. Let's freshen him up and bring him back midsummer, late summer into autumn. And we'll see if we can bring him back to his 2021, 2022 form. Hard trying horse. And so that's the reason I'm going to pick him on top.
I landed on Karen's Notion, the 3-horse here. My one concern with Karen's Notion is, can he repeat an absolutely excellent effort last time? That was a big try. He finished second to Eastern Bay at a similar level. That race has been completely validated since then. Eastern Bay came back to run second in the $250,000 Russell Road Stakes at Charlestown the next time out. And another horse who was sort of up the track that day was Yodelier, who, I'm sure I said that wrong, who came back to win next out in an allowance optional at Delaware Park. What's that?
What horse was it?
Yodelier.
Oh, Yodelier. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, 2 of 3 to come out of that race have run very well against similar or even better. So
almost went with that horse on top. He's hard knocking. He's upset before, I believe, in the past. He's run big prices in the money in the past. Sometimes he just tends to get his own worst enemy, gets into trouble sometimes.
Yep.
Now, last time out, no. He was sent right toward the front, battled on the pace, good, brave second, to the closing old-timer Eastern Bay in that spot. So if he can get an aggressive, good start out of the gate, that's his best MO today. Just try to come for the lead. But if he does, I really think that going to the lead is going to be right there, lapped onto him around the final turn. That's so.
That's how
it was
you
a flip
see
of the coin.
All right. The 2 good horses, and really all good. These are good older horses. Take a look at the 8th race. It's a high-quality heat here at the Big T. Let's go to the 9th, Dave, because I want your stat. Yeah. 9th race, maiden 10's going 6.5. Lay it on me.
Here's the stat that all 3 people have been waiting for from Twitter. Designated Hitters Racing.
Okay.
I told him, when you hear this stat, you're going to throw your funnel cake in the air.
Where's Callie with my funnel cake? Go ahead.
Tussauds Ransom's going to be the top pick in here from me. First, I like the way she ran last time out on the turf, coming back to the dirt today. First time Lasix on the dirt here for Tussauds Ransom. The winner of that race, Please Marry Me, came back to buy her up with a higher buyer number after the maiden 20,000 score. Again, turf, but it is first Lasix on the dirt. She ran pretty green in that race, was 4 wide around the first turn, which put her to the back of the pack early, so lost ground around the turn. Was angled toward the inside around the second turn. Toward the quarter pole, was guided over toward the inside rail and kind of shied a bit from the rail. But Christine Claggett, maiden claiming 4 and up. In the last 5 years, 7 for 45, 16%, almost $3 ROI return on investment. Christine Claggett, never overlook a horse that you say, well, she's 5 years old, forget it. You know, they're very patient with their horses, obviously.
Very.
And there's not a lot to beat in this field. So, again, the 7 for 45, pretty stout stat, but those winners have included a 19-to-1 shot, a 14-to-1 shot, a 17-to-1 shot, which pumped up the return on investment.
Well, there you have it.
It wasn't one horse.
There is your throw the funnel cake up in the air stat from Dave Rodman. And I'm using Tussauds Ransom as well underneath. I don't, for this group of horses, there's absolutely nothing wrong with what this horse has done to date, making, as you said, first-time Lasix on the dirt, second start off a couple of months off. I think there's reason to think this horse still has a little bit of upside here, so I think that horse is a use as well. I landed on Chasing Artemis coming down from Penn National. This horse making third start off the bench. Ran, has seen better horses running. I mean, yes, Penn National, but running in maiden 25, now dropping to maiden 10. Ran kind of evenly first time off the bench back at the beginning of August. Came back a couple weeks later. Okay try on the turf. Now probably spotted in the right place. Has not shown much early zip. I wouldn't mind seeing her position a little bit closer today, but is a horse who still has a little bit of upside, I think, and if she improves at all off kind of that first start back, ought to be right involved.
Yeah. Another horse that's going turf to dirt, just like
another
my top
turf
pick,
to
right?
Dirt. Yep.
And the old belatedly comment, which always catches the attention.
We love the belatedly.
We love the belatedly comment. Who's got to the front in here? Could be a surprise with the blinkers on. Number 1, Little 4. Bit slow from the gate at Delaware. Went back and looked at that video. She had like a little climbing action early there. Like she's a little green. Maybe got a little dirt in her face. Today with the blinkers on, maybe she has early speed. I'm not sure. On that stretch out from 5.5 to 6.5, the change of equipment, drawn inside. If she has any early speed, I think she'll be asked to give it today.
Yeah.
So that's why I used her
has
second.
a good rider to get early speed out of a horse, and J.D. Acosta, very good gate rider. All right, Dave.
You're not going to give me a first-time starter, like some big news from the Clockers or anything?
I got nothing,
2 of them in there.
I got
Here's your chance.
Yeah. No, and you know what? This is not a bad race to just take a swing with a first-time starter. There are enough holes in the more experienced horses. If you want to take up for one of them, I encourage that.
I do not.
So after all that, you got nothing here.
No.
You're just going to sit on throw your
trying to
funnel
pry that
cake.
information out of you.
All right.
All right.
Well, there you have it. Any last thoughts, Dave?
That's it. We disagree a lot today.
We disagree
but that
a lot.
makes for a great betting card. Couple of really races I think you can maybe build your bankroll with, and that late pick 5 carryover. You got a couple grand of free money sitting out there with a 12% takeout on both the early and the late pick 5. That early pick 5 is a mandatory. Late pick 5 is a carryover. And if it carries over again, and the Rainbow Pick 6 again, it's a mandatory payout tomorrow.
Force out
payout tomorrow.
But 2,500 in the carryover. Late pick 5 starts in race 5. 9 races on the docket today, 8 more tomorrow to close the Big T. But that's going to do it for us here. For Dave Rodman, I'm Frank Vespi. Thanks for spending a little bit of your Sunday morning with us here on the Big T today. Good luck, everybody. Post time, 12:40.